Hi, welcome to my depression video. This isn't a super sad, let's cry. I don't know what I'm talking about. Let's cry together, please. Quarantine is fine. Great Depression, Depression era food, bread and butter pickles, bread, butter. Let's make a sandwich. So I recently moved to the West Coast and then the quarantine happened. It got me thinking about the Great Depression and what they did and what they were eating. And I had 5 hours to kill, so I thought, why not make a depression sandwich? So I'm gonna start with the pickles first. I'm gonna cut my cucumbers into thick coins. I've made these pickles before and I usually don't put red pepper in, but it's more true to the original recipe. So I added it this time and I'm really glad I did. It adds such a nice flavor. And throw in some sliced onion. After preparing your vegetables, you want to salt heavily with kosher salt. The salt's going to draw all the extra moisture, which will give them a nice crunch later. And then we'll cover and put it in the fridge for 2 to 4 hours. While that's chilling, I'm going to start on the bread. It's super easy. All you need is flour, oil, yeast, and salt. Start by mixing together your flour and salt. And then you can make a little depression before adding your yeast and warm water. I usually use my stand mixer to make bread, but I wanted to stay true to the era, so I did it by hand. It's really not that bad. Add more water as necessary and work the dough. Then I'll add that to a lightly oiled bowl and toss to coat. And let it proof for 1 hour. If you don't have a warm place to put it, you can place it in your oven with a bowl of hot water and your oven door cracked open. While that's proving, I'm going to go ahead and give my cucumbers a quick stir before placing back into the fridge. And I'm going to start on the butter. It's super easy. All you need is heavy whipping cream in a jar. You can add salt later if you want. Butter. And then you just shake your jar around. It'll be hard to shake after a few minutes, and then all of a sudden it will just release and you'll see a clump in there, and that's when you stop. Pour out the excess and you're left with a clump of butter. Look how cool. I'm gonna fold a little salt into the butter and then place it in the fridge to set. Yes. So satisfying. So cut it into 2 loaves and then we'll put it on a lightly floured baking sheet for a second proof for 30 more minutes. You want to rinse your cucumbers really well. Rinse them under cold water for at least 5 minutes to get all the salt off. So now I'm going to start on the brine. Mix together all the spices and vinegar and water, and then I'm going to put it on the stove till it comes to a simmer. After it simmers for about 2 minutes, you can go ahead and add your vegetables. This probably wasn't the best tool to use. As soon as it starts to bubble, turn the heat off and let it cool to room temperature. The longer they sit, the deeper the color they'll be, and they taste better after a few days. But let's have one now. So good. The best part about making bread at home is that you don't even have to be good at it. You can completely fuck the recipe up and it's gonna be delicious. Hello? Oh, you're done. Can I have you now? During the Great Depression, they would pickle their extra cucumbers in the summer so that they had something to put on their bread and butter in the winter. hence the name Bread and Butter Pickles. It seems like a lot of work for such a simple sandwich, but I think it's totally worth it. Nothing compares to homemade bread, and the pickles are so good and they will last for weeks in your fridge. So what do you think? Are you bored enough to spend 5 hours making bread, butter, and bread and butter pickles just to make a sandwich? Thanks so much for watching.